Happy Friday, people. Happy Friday. What is happening each and every time? I can see people are jolly in the chat, and it's probably because it is a Friday. Let me sort this lighting out. Not quite sure about this light. I'm not happy about it today. Let's get that right. That's a little bit better. How are we doing? How are we doing, everyone? I hope, first of all, as you know, I hope everyone has had a magnificent week. And also, like I always say, if you haven't, make sure that next week is your week. Things will turn. Things will turn. But I hope everyone has got good health and their family are okay, even during still quite a challenging time in the world, that is for sure. So I appreciate each and every one of you taking the time out on a Friday, because you could be doing something, I'm sure, a lot more interesting than listening to my waffle at times. That's for sure. So who's in the chat as always? So let's have a look. Craig, as always, big shout out to Craig. Yes, he has subscribed to the other channel as well. 2 channels now. So we've got 3 channels, and you're probably thinking, wow, Fran, concentrate on one channel. Believe me, I've tried to do that kind. It's just not the way that I work. I like to be full on. And 2022 for me is going to probably be my busiest and most productive year outside of professional football. So probably for about the last 10-12 years, I can tell you that I'm really gonna hit it full on. So Salman's in the chat. He has put, good evening folks, off topic, but I'm in La Palma and there is nothing like feeling and hearing lava come out of the ground. Oh, a bit of volunteer work. Big shout out to you. My wife literally dragged me out volunteer work, but I'm glad I came, and big shout out to you. Martin's in the chat with a big fist. Buenos Aires as always. All the Gooners put yo, what's happening? Evening, lads, from boy 10 Endanguna. As always, have a great weekend. Sun has already set in northwest London. Beautiful. Someone's put no hat, Fran, back in the cut. Happy Friday. No hat today, but even though I do need to clip that, I'm definitely going to shave this and my beard and all that for church on Sunday, because I'm restarting the old church. So week was terrible because you didn't go live yesterday, Fran. Ruined the whole thing. I missed one day, I think. Franny Boy Social, as always, hope you are doing well. Boy 10, 3 channels. What's the third? Right then. So let me just tell you about something. I've pinned a channel at the top of the chat. So go and hit the subscribe on that one, and hit the subscribe on the Green Mind. Now, let me tell you why I've done another channel. However, right, my passions is obviously football. I love self-development. I love talking to people. And the world we live in now, we don't really meet a lot of people face to face, and a lot of people you want to talk to. So you're my family to talk to when it comes to the Green Mind, and I get a lot of love. Social, Chris, everyone in the chat really reach out, and it helps people get through sometimes if they're struggling with something, and it helps me as well. You also know that crypto is what I'm into on a daily basis. I want to get better at crypto. I want to get to next level, but I know a lot about crypto. I've made a few quid out of it at times. I do trade it, etc. And a lot of people in the chat have asked me directly, Fran, you speak about crypto. Would you do a crypto channel, etc.? Now, the thing is with crypto, it's not financial advice. I can't tell people to buy and sell. It's just, we'll be showing you how I trade, the tools that I use, and then the news of the crypto that day. So I'm probably going to do every other day. I may do every day because I'm on the screen every day. So I'm just figuring out the best way to go about it. But it more than likely won't be me on the screen. It will just be showing you how I trade. And then every so often I might pop on the screen to tell you about the news. But you probably won't see my face on that channel. I'll probably just leave it all that for obvious reasons. If it ever goes on and makes millions, if I make millions in crypto, everyone will start come chasing me. So it's best to not have your face on it. That's the best way. So if you are interested in crypto, or what it is, how it works, how to trade, how not to trade, what not to do, whether to hold, whatever, I'll do a channel. I'll start from the bare basics, the tools that I use, how I trade, my techniques, etc., which, believe me, need to get a lot better, information, etc. And it may be a help of people, and we can grow that channel. So the aim is by 2022 to grow these channels all into their thousands, and we take it from there. And that's the 3 areas in my life that I do: football, crypto, self-development around obviously family and etc. But they're the three main things. So instead of doing one channel for just football, I'm into three things. So why not do three channels into three things, which may help people, it may not. So make sure you go and hit the subscribe on the other channels, okay? They are at the top of the chat. So really do appreciate that. Looking forward to the crypto channel. Listen, there's loads of crypto channels out there, Hendenguna, as you know, loads and loads and loads. But if we just keep it basic, rather than too complicated at times, because I think you get lost. I got lost. Keep it very basic. Let you know what I'm in, what I'm not in, and take it from there. And if people want to start trading, they can practice on practice accounts and all things like, or they can buy and hold, because you know there is some good money to be made if you catch the right one. That is for sure. And I'm still trying to catch the right one. So I missed the Shiba Inu one from the beginning. I wish we all got in that, because we'd all be multimillionaires. That's for sure. That is for sure. So just what you need to link your other channels in the channel tab on your tube. Franny, I'll do that. You've just reminded me. I will do that. They're in the description, but I need to link the channels to this channel. So thanks for letting me know about that, Social. I forgot about that. Curved Glass is saying, I got ice cream to go with the waffle. I also subscribe to the Crypto Night channel. There you go. Get your crypto in. Crypto Faith. There we are. Big up from Tubbs. Social saying, Fran splitting his ages into other baskets. 3 channels. Big up the dude. Well done. Subbed. Yeah, we got to smash it hard. 2021 for each and every one of us is a huge year, people. Huge year. Big up, Fran. Here from Shaw Sports News. Big shout out to Curtis. Hitting the big magic number today. I think Curtis 38, I believe. So big shout out to my boy Curtis. That is for sure. Socials put, will you be suited and booted in the crypto channel? You probably won't see my face. I'm not going to go on the crypto channel, to be honest, a lot. It will just be my screen recordings, what I'm watching that day, a little bit of news, etc. There could be a trade right about soon at the moment. So we will see, people. We will see. But again, appreciate each and every one of you for subscribing and supporting my journey in all different areas. That is for sure. Curtis can feel a hybrid nearly, can't he? That's for sure. That is for sure, man. Someone's put, man, I should start up something for Basinji's Shiba Inu. What? Listen, anything Inu, anything meme, anything like that at the minute, jump yourself in. There's a couple. I missed one the other day. I was all prepared, wasn't working on Pancake Swap. I was probably talking foreign language to a lot of you, but I couldn't change any BNB from Pancake Swap to buy Pulse Pad, and it went from about 5 cents to 30 cents within an hour. So can you imagine, you know, you could quadruple your money on that one. That is for sure. DJ Ash has put thoughts, Fran, on rumors of Sterling being signed in Jan. And that's probably what we'll start on. Let's start on that, people. We will start on, because we're going to talk about Guendouzi. I know a lot of people are like, oh, you know, forget Guendouzi, Fran, blah, blah, blah. We knew this was going to happen. But I think it's something to talk about on a Friday. We're not going to have a long one. We're not going to have a long one. We'll probably do about 40 minutes, and then you can go and enjoy the time with your family, yourselves, whatever you may be doing this evening. Now, over the weekend, not sure which, if there's a few people, I'm not sure, people reach out, that members stream might have over the weekend. However, like you say, there's only a small amount of members at the moment, very small. And I know it's the weekend and people are busy. So I might wait until after our next game to get the members on. But, you know, if a couple of members want to do a members only stream, let me know. But I know you may be busy tomorrow. Right. Sterling. With Xavi going back to Barcelona, apparently a few things have changed. He's been told he don't have hardly any money to spend in January because of what's going on. They've got some very, very good youth players coming through. And it seems that maybe Sterling's going to be overpriced. He's probably going to cost around about, you know, the wages-wise, 300 grand maybe. 250 grand, because he's got a monster deal at Man City now, and it's going to cost about 45 million. Now he's going to have a lot of teams want him. He's going to have the pick of the bunch. He's prime. He is very, very good player. I can't believe Jack Grealish is keeping him out of the team. I really can't. I think they made a little bit of a mistake on that one. I believe that Man City signed Jack Grealish because they didn't want no one else to have him, but I don't think they needed him. It's really imbalanced them. And Sterling is, for me, I would rather have Sterling in my team than Jack Grealish if I'm going to play them in the same position. You know, if I'm going to play them in the same position, I would rather have Sterling. Most fullbacks would rather play against Jack Grealish than Sterling. You know, it's very easy to defend against Jack Grealish. Keep him facing one way, just keep kicking him and he falls down like a bag of spuds. So Sterling's a completely different animal. Now, some people would say they won't want him. Some people they would. I mean, I've heard some people say he's a reject. You're not a reject just because you leave one club and go to another. He's 26. He's a phenomenal age. He will be motivated to get to prove Pep and Man City wrong. However, I'm just not sure whether we would get him, people. I would take him with a heartbeat because he'd be our best player. I mean, if you listen, we rave over Saka, and Saka is no Sterling. So, you know, Saka ain't no Sterling. So we got to pick him up and bring him to the Emirates if we can get him. But I just can't see it happening. Thoughts on the Wenger documentary? Not seen it yet, to be honest, the Invincibles one. Don't know when I'll get time to see it, but we will see. But apparently it's very, very good. It's very good. Martin's saying it's not even a debate. If we can get Sterling, got to get him. He's still young. Got to get Sterling. Sterling will give us more than what Pepe has been doing. Sterling will be our most productive player. He's phenomenal at times. People don't. I think people don't rate him as much because some people don't like his character, but he's a very good character. He's a family man. He keeps his head down. He's done the odd thing here, there, and everywhere. Who hasn't? But he's a very, very good example to a lot of young players looking at it. So I just don't think he would come to Arsenal. And people say to me, yeah, but Fran, that's negative. It's negative. I'm just being real. Would he come to Arsenal, people? Would he come? Listen, it's London. He's a London boy. It's Arsenal. We're still one of the biggest clubs in the world, regardless of what's going on. We're on a good run at the moment. He could come and make himself a proper star at Arsenal. There's no doubt about that. We can afford the fee and we can afford the wages, but would he come? Would he come? You know, that's the thing. I mean, it's crazy. Like I say, Sam, he's only 26. He's only 26. You know, he's only 26 years old. So he's a player, mate. He's a player, he's a baller, and he walks into any other Premier League team, and he should be a Man City's team. I think he's been done dirty, to be honest. I think he's been done dirty with the Jack Grealish thing. 100%. They're nowhere near as fluid. They're nowhere near as dangerous without Sterling in that team or Mahrez. I've got to be honest. And I just don't think they're frightening enough. People rave about Jack Grealish. People rave about this, but now they don't. And that's football for you. Like, Jack Grealish is a very, very good footballer. I've been watching him since he was 15 years old. Very, very good footballer. Very, very different from what we have in this country. And he can run games. You've seen him at Villa, but he was a big fish in a small pond at Villa. You know, now he's a small fish in a big pond. And those small fishes get yammed up in the big pond. And what's he done at Man City? What has he done at Man City? Sterling is way better at Man City and more effective. Just my opinion. That's all I'm saying. Some people would prefer Jack Grealish. I get it. However, I think Sterling is more effective. Apparently has a great relationship with Arteta. That's another thing that might sway him, because Arteta was obviously assistant, coach, whatever he was. Can't remember. I don't even know what he was. I think he was just a coach. And that sounded really disrespectful towards him, but I can't remember what he actually was. So you never know. Could convince him. Really could convince him. Money talks, but he is at a very, very important age for himself. He's not even hit his prime yet. If you're going on about age-wise, you know. Arteta could convince him. Thought he was older. People forget he's only 26. He's already got that relationship with Mikel. Craig saying, if it wasn't for Sterling, we wouldn't have got to the Euros. Oh, Sterling's phenomenal. Hey, Fran, lots of fans will be upset about Guendouzi leaving. He had grit. Like, listen, I like Guendouzi. And like I said, we won't do a long stream on it because a lot of people say, let him go. What are you talking about? Old news for? You know, you know how the world is. You know, it's a Friday, people. People should be smiling, you know, ready for the weekend. Remember, champions are made on Friday, people. Champions are made on Friday. Fran, please say yammed up when you get on it. Listen, it's quite funny, actually, because my co-commentator, or the person that I commentate with when I do the radio, he said to me, he said, listen, you've got to go like yard style and start saying like Bombuckler and all this. And I was like, can't say that on the BBC. Can you imagine? Or terrace and all that. Oh, mate, you can't say that. So you have to keep it. You have to switch identities. You know, when we're doing Green Mind, we're very sensible. When we're doing crypto, we're all technical. When we're doing BBC, we're all conservative. When we're on here, by any means, we can be as we wish, because we run this place. We run this place. That is for sure. Arthur Guna is saying at the moment Sterling is more effective than Grealish. I fully agree. I can't. I think he is. You know, who would you rather play against? You know, we just put he's on 300k. Szoboszlai is 21 and would be easier deal. Yeah. Listen, there's a lot easier players that we could get, but Raheem Sterling is one of the best players in the Premier League. Raheem Sterling is one of the best players in the Premier League. Pep changed him into a goal-scoring stroke third man forward winger. He's one of the best players in the Premier League. So, you know, we will see. How Beatus put your co-presenter is for the cultural up at He's legit. Yeah, he loves it. I tell him about bream rice and peas, ackee, saltfish, everything. He's like, ooh, I might have to try that. Oh, big shout out to Sam Edwards. Yeah, he's great. He's great. City have played Grealish to justify the price they paid. 100%. 100%. 100%. They've had to play him because of the price tag. And I imagine he's on a nice, hefty wage packet as well. So they've got to play him. And Pep's probably, you know, Pep can be stubborn. He's probably thinking, well, I've got Mahrez and I've got Sterling, who are by far more effective than Grealish. But I pressed every button to try and get Jack Grealish and change the dynamics of football. I need to make sure this works. And, you know, it may backfire on him, that's for sure. Marvu don't rate Sterling. Something about him I don't know. And you know what? I get that. There's sometimes players I don't rate, and people are like, why don't you rate him? And I'm like, it's just something I don't like. So I understand why you don't. But for me, he's one of the best players in the Premier League. You know what you're going to get out of him. Is he complete? Is he, you know, when he's one-on-one with a goalkeeper, do you think he's the one? No, but he still get 15, 20 goals a season. Now, would he get that in Arsenal's team? You got to remember, when you're playing for City's team, you're bagging goals. You know, you're scoring goals. So would he do that in an Arsenal team? It's a big difference. Cameron's in the building as well. He has put Sterling is good for Arsenal, but they have to incorporate better players around him. And that's exactly the point. I'm glad you've just brought that up. Great timing. If he came to Arsenal, how would he adapt? When you play for Man City, a lot of the work is done for you. And you're in a position, that's your role. And when the ball comes to you, you do X, Y, Z, boom. When you play for a team who's not as good, you have to go searching for the ball. You have to go into areas of the pitch you really don't want to. You've seen it with Harry Kane. You've seen it with Ødegaard sometimes. You've seen it with Ozil. We've seen it with Aubameyang this season and last season, going into areas where you shouldn't really be because you're starved of the ball. Would that happen to Sterling? You know, would that happen to Sterling? But like you say, get rid of Pepe and try and get Sterling in all day. They're not even in the same. Well, they are actually in the same league, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean. Do you want Chelsea to win the Prem? If anyone was to win it, bar Arsenal, I want Man City to win it. To be honest, I've got to be honest. How beats is put, but where is Sterling going? He has a high wage. What team can afford him? He's not going to struggling Barca, and he's not going. Doesn't look like he's going to Barca at the moment. Now he's not at the age where you take a pay cut. Doesn't really, warrant him to take a pay cut at the moment. So it'd be interesting. Guendouzi saying Chiesa is better than Sterling. Would Chiesa get to, you know what? Chiesa in the Man City team probably would get 15 to 20 goals. So, yeah, I get your argument. Sterling would be one of the main men at Arsenal. At City, maybe he's a bit underappreciated there. Sterling to Madrid, Fran. Listen, if he got a chance to leave England, I think he will. He's the type of man who'll just take his partner and he'll take his nippers and he'll go and live a quiet life. He likes that quiet life stuff. So, he probably could go abroad. A Bayern, Madrid, Barca. Would he go to Juventus or AC? Some people are a little bit because of Italy, because of the racism, but we'll see. We'll see where he goes. Or he might like England. He might want to stay in England. He might want to go back to London, etc. So we will see about that. Chiesa is a proper baller. He is a proper baller. That is for sure. I love him. He's probably my favorite Italian player, to be honest. Martin makes a point. Bayern, they're not huge, massive payers, are they? Bayern. And Weedy's put Iwobi and Kessie and Jam. We spoke about Kessie yesterday and obviously Adams as well. Right, people, let's move on to Guendouzi, because I know it's kind of one of those lingering smells that has now needed a... it needs closing. I don't think it will. I think it will still bubble on until actually anything is official. So we will see. But he's come out today, as you know. I'm not going to bring anything up because you've probably already seen it. He's come out today, basically said he doesn't want to go back. Whether that's the actual words that he said or the media have come up and said, this is what he's saying. But basically, they've said that he doesn't want to go back. He likes it in France. He's back in the French squad. He's playing the best football of his life. He's being linked with other clubs as well. And he does not want to go back to Arsenal, basically. Obviously, after the fallout, etc., his relationship with Arteta. Now, let's rewind. And I know many people have probably spoken about this before, but it's always good to speak about it. And let's rewind to obviously the incident. He had the incident at Brighton, etc. Someone around the throat, giving it large portions, this and that. I think the club may have had a word with him, and then he's fell out with the club. Now, briefly, before I went to the school run, I checked on Curtis, and Curtis was speaking about it. And we were speaking about when we were that age. And I'm going to tell you now, you know me, I'm doing the same as Guendouzi. I'm kicking off. I'm in the manager's face. I'm probably getting suspended. And they're going to try and get rid of me. I know, because I've done it three times in my career when I was playing. And when you're younger, you don't get it. And I was not rich. I was not well. I was okay paid. Nothing like Premier League footballers, I can tell you that. And even then, I thought, I'm going to give it large portions, etc. So, and a lot of people didn't really like me. Some fans turned on me. Managers didn't like me. Some players didn't like me. And now that I'm older and I understand, people are just misunderstood. We had it with Anelka. People are just misunderstood. And I believe that's what's happened with Guendouzi. Does he have that little bit of arrogance, that little bit of, he's a bit of a rebel? Yeah, but a lot of players that want to get the foot in, want to get in people's faces, love the club, love football. Don't a lot of them show that? But look at Ronaldo, and I don't want to compare Ronaldo to that, but Ronaldo's always done it. That disappointing other players. He's a little bit frustrated at the minute. We've seen a side of Ronaldo at the minute now that we've probably never seen before. He's a little bit of a coward at the moment from his late challenges, throwing his hands up in the air, sulking, Mardy, etc. But he's done what he's done. And some would say, well, he can get away with it. I don't believe that. I think everyone should be treated the same. But the world, unfortunately, doesn't work like that. I think that the Guendouzi incident, we've made a big mistake. A big mistake. He could go on to be a very good established French international. And listen, that's football. I understand that that's football. But I think we should have just wrapped our arm around him. I think we should have managed the situation a little bit different. And that could go down to the fact that Arteta does not have that man management experience when he is at the head of the ship. He's the captain. So I just think that we made a big mistake with him. He's a very good player. I like him. I like that he's in people's faces. I like that he grabs you around the neck. I like that, the dark arts, giving it large portions in people's faces, because it intimidates people. It makes people feel a little bit, and on a football pitch, at the end of the day, the football pitch is a battlefield. Modern day footballers don't really look at football like a battlefield. I know football's different, but we used to go on there sometimes like Spartans. Oh, every time, I know football is not like that now. I know. And rugby players look at them like, oh my God, what are these bunch of fairies running around a football pitch? And that's what's missing from the game. He's a very good player. He's very young. He has that about him. I know that. But do we want to get rid and dismiss anyone with a little bit of rebelness about them, or a little bit of that ego or arrogance, or a little bit cocksure of themselves if they want to win? Is it not better to manage that and see what we can get out of that? That's what I think. Football's gone soft now, Fran. Players and fans soft, in my opinion. What Guendouzi did was a minimum thing 20 years. Listen, 20 years ago, you could do some crazy stuff with football. And I don't want to go on history settings, but times have changed. Societies have changed. If anyone's got children, if anyone is, of late teens or early 20s in the chat, times have changed. I fully understand. But the fact of the matter is, sports shouldn't really change when it comes to wanting to win. Van Dijk chest pump, calm. Yeah. Listen, that was Ronaldo looked at Van Dijk and thought, oof, I'm not sure about that. No, Fran, people just like good girls and quiet boys. Meek and Ma just like Arteta and have favourites, holding double standards with no standards. I get that. And I think it's a big problem in society. That's why, you get rewarded for finishing, for competing. World's gone crazy. You get a medal for entering a competition. That's a wrong message for me. It's a wrong message to give, children growing up. Just, it's standard that you should compete. Never mind that. And I think with Guendouzi, it's a little bit disappointing that we may have missed one. Listen, I understand. We fully move on. We have to move on. Of course, it's football. Listen, Willock could go on to be absolutely unbelievable, and we got rid of him for 20 million. I just think with Guendouzi, for whatever crazy price we've allowed that to happen, it could turn around and absolutely kill us in the long run. So let me have a look at a few of your comments, people. Like I said, it's not going to be a long one today. You go and enjoy your Friday nights. Guendouzi is what we need, but some fans choose Arteta. Listen, it all for me boils down to, and don't take this the wrong way, anyone in the chat, is that people like softness. We live in a society where you kind of get hammered for telling the truth, or you kind of get hammered for telling people this is how it is. People don't like criticism. People don't like being told. No one does. But in today's world, because people think it's okay to them flip out or cry or whatever, it's even harder now. It's even harder to tell someone that, listen, you're not good enough, or this is too soft, or, you can't even tell kids something before they go home and scream and to their parents or whatever. So I just think that because society is soft, because the world is soft, the standards have been lowered. The standards have been lowered, and the Mourinhos, the Tony Pulis, the Sam Allardyce, the Neil Warnocks, the old school managers who are in your face, even a Conte at times, they're going to die out the game, and you've got to be kind of like nice with everybody. You've got to be nice with everybody. And that's unfortunately, it's just the way it is. You know, people, you get more clicks on telling you that you're having a bad day on a platform, something's really bad. You get more clicks and more love than rather if you was to say, I've just accomplished something, you know, I started a business. I've been married 20 years. My kids gone to university. You hardly get any likes. So because people don't want to do that. They want to be, feel sorry for people because it's a measurement of where people are. You know, you ever notice when people, I'm going a bit off topic. You ever notice when you meet people and they always go, first thing they say is, so what do you do then? And you're like, well, mind your own business. But they're measuring up to see what kind of conversation they're going to have with you, or whether they're above you or below you. You know, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Shrivik, we've let Matteo go for peanuts because the manager couldn't handle him, and people still think Arteta ain't a control freak dictator. It's clear who the real you-know-what is in this situation. Don't want to go too deep, and for want of a better wording, I think you are absolutely bang on. Pure old school ammo. Without being stupid, I think old school ethics do work. At the end of the day, the human brain has been the same for 2,000 to 3,000 years, whatever it may be. Our psychology is the same. The brain only builds on the individual building the brain. The fundamentals and the basics will always be the same. The brain is the brain. And unfortunately, the world has changed, but the mind hasn't. Now the mind's got, well, it has changed because it's got softer. I missed the Vieira and Roy Keane battles. Yeah, I seen a tackle the other week from like 15, 20 years ago. Geezer got snapped in half and just turned around and got back up. It was fascinating. Fran, what are your views on teams not using airplanes to Premier League matches anymore? Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy? I know it's a little bit off topic, but today I was, you know me, we'll just be off. I'm not a meat eater, but I do have fish probably a couple of times a week. From next week, I'm gonna get rid of fish, and we're gonna try and go eco-friendly. I want an electric car next year, and all these things. And I was just talking to my wife today about if governments don't start to do this stuff, as in, you know, save the planet, eco. Because by the way, in 100 to 200 years, the planet's going to be mash up, like. It's damaging. We're damaging the planet, and the planet can't repair, so it's damaging itself. So we're going to be in a whole heap of trouble, but we're not going to be here, but our grandkids and our grandkids will be. And I think that's the selfish view of people. Anyway, going back to that, the governments, they need to be doing certain things. And I seen this, Joe Biden was in Scotland or something the other week. He had like 20 car entourage and about 4 jets on the way. And I'm thinking, how can you be going to GU or these summits or whatever on all these crazy things if you're not doing it? So I don't think teams, England is not big enough where you need to fly. It's not, is it? You could get from one end of the UK to the other in 4 hours. So you don't really need planes. You can stay in a hotel, go the night before. I think it's a good move, social. I think it's a good move. My attitude, Martin's saying, my attitude wrecked my football. Loved to tear up. Could have went through Walsall 25 years ago, but found smoking and drinking more fun. And you know what, Martin? You're not the first and you won't be the last. I read a crazy stat, right? Crazy stat. Now, I knew that only 4% of kids that are in academies get to be a scholar, and only 1% of those scholars become pro, and out of those, that 1% that make a pro, it's only another 1%, so 0.1, that actually are still professionals over the age of 25. So it tells you like the odds of making it as a footballer and staying as a footballer at any level is very, very, very low. And it was talking about how academy players, what they do when they leave or when they don't make it, etc. There's no help. There's no help. They give them a BTEC course. They need someone to sit down with them and say, this is the reality. Like you're gonna struggle with not wanting to get a job because you're embarrassed because you're supposed to be the footballer, and you're gonna be embarrassed, so you won't get a job, which then leads into alcohol, which then leads into depression, or leads into smoking a bit of the the herbals, and all these kind of things. So listen, you won't be the first, you won't be the last. Where I grew up, it was all about, alcohol in street corners and shotting. And luckily, I always had a football with me. And my friends at the time, they said to me, No. Franny used to call me. Everyone used to call me Franny back then, and even during my football career. Franny's not about that life. He's just a footballer amongst us. So they really kind of helped me concentrate on football. They didn't really ever really. The odd time they did, of course, they did get me involved in nonsense, but I was just known as the footballer, you know. So that helped. But listen, no regrets, son. No regrets. Marvo. Some teams use airplanes, like from London to Newcastle. Chelsea went there on a plane. They've always used planes, but I think social media saying they might be stopping because it's not needed. It's not needed. The coaches they travel on are like homes, so it's not needed. Really not needed. And if I miss anything, the top leagues around the world are literally the top one of one. Yeah, listen, it's very hard. The numbers are absolutely crazy. Marbo, Fran, is education important when you're going to become a footballer? How can I put it? I'm not a massive believer of education. I've got 4 children. One's at uni. I want them to do the best that they can, but I don't want them to think that that is the be all and end all, because it's not. Because most of the most successful people that I know were just bang average at school. Some of them dropped out of school because they've got that hustle kind of mentality, taking risks, entrepreneurship, don't want to be the norm. Now, when it comes to football, what it does is it allows you to have some kind of education. When you're a scholar, you have to go to college once a week. You still have to do a course. It's very important that maybe you do something with that, because the chances of you making it a footballer are very low. So you can fall back onto a sports science, a law, or whatever it may be, and then it goes on to that. A lot of people drop out and they lose their way. Education while you're at school, you got to do it, so you do it. Okay. Does it higher your chances of being a footballer? No. You can be as thick as walking into doors all day. If you're good at football, you're still going to have an opportunity. But it's not the talent. It's not the talent so much that makes you a footballer. It's everything else around it. The talent is the middle bit, but the arms and the sticks and everything else, and the tree branches, whatever you need to put onto the middle, is so much more. I personally would teach meditation in schools every single morning. I think classes should do meditation to control their emotions, and psychology should be part of the national curriculum, more so than science or whatever, because this is what kids need. It's funny, in schools and education, the 3 probably things that we need are finance education, health education, and psychology, mindset, emotional self-development education. We don't do none of them in school, because I can tell you what, now the maths that I got taught, I had never used those angles, algebra, since I left. And the 3 things that we need, we don't teach in schools, and they're the most important parts of our life. So, I'm sure a teacher will disagree with me, but it's no problem. Allies put, big up, Franny. I hear you. My boy has got to be got me on the environment tip. However, driving from southwest to north is not that 4 hours. Trust me, I have to do that trip. Yeah, true. It's probably a little bit longer. I've got to be honest. However, I get your point. The environment thing is I used to be, oh, well, the governments are not doing it. Oh, well, he's not doing it. Oh, well, they're not doing it. Listen, if we can do that little bit that helps, then that little bit that helps. Simple things like, when I was a kid, you never turned the tap off when you was brushing your teeth. Now you probably just do it. When I was a kid, there was litter everywhere. There's not as much litter now. So electric cars, I think we're all going to have electric cars. It's going to be the thing. In 10 years, you're probably just going to see electric cars. Interesting. I was talking, if anyone knows, what will petrol stations do when most of the cars are electric? Probably they'll fold, which will be interesting. The damage being done to the planet is already irreversible. Earth is doomed to be on its maximum warming. Said it is. You say, see, I'm not no environmentalist. However, the Earth is natural, so when things stop, it repairs itself. So it can be reversed, because the Earth will do it. All humans have to do is stop damaging it, and then it repairs very, very quickly, actually. From what I've seen and things like that. But like I say, I ain't no expert, far from it. I can tell you that. I just know the simple stuff. For example, we had a bad form. I pray we don't. But do you think Arteta can rally the team back? Because all fun and games now could be traumatic, Fran. Listen, we got to test the 6 games. Big test game. Big 6 games coming up. They're winnable and not winnable. They're either we should win or we shouldn't win in those. So we're going to see where we are. We're going to see where we are at. 40. We're going to go 4 minutes. I'm going to go, people. Just answer some of your questions. Love, as always. The COP are trying to put a stop to unneeded travel on planes, etc. Carbon footprint. I've seen that. Yeah, education is useless, Fran. Personally, I wouldn't say it's useless, but it's not as important as it's made out to be. But it's not. But it is. It's not vital. Let's put it this way. The petrol station will be converted into electric stations. Just got to monetize that, though. I don't know how they'll monetize, like say, what's the cost? It's quite deep, actually, about how it's going to be, because when you get that electric bill and you're thinking, sure, I used more electric this month than I did last month, but you're charging me more, or, I don't know with this electricity and this gas and all that stuff, but we will see. In my opinion, left is a genuine. I'd focus more on teaching kids in school about genders and sexual orientation rather than actual useful stuff like finance. And the reason that we don't get taught about finance in taxes and finance, taxes, health and psychology is because we will become too powerful. You've already seen it now. We have a generation now of entrepreneurs. The last 10 years has put entrepreneurs through the roof. And then the last 2 years, because of COVID, everybody is probably thinking, how can I run my own business and make enough money to make sure my family's okay, but I can work the way that I want to work? Many people, millions, billions of people have probably thought or had to do that over the last couple of years. And that's why it's not taught in school, because we will become too powerful as a mass. We're kept in check because the masses are divided by lack of intelligence, That's for sure. Buenos Aires, Fram. I'm in the barbershop, packed. Thank God you are streaming now. Big shout out to everyone who's having a trim. Barbershop settings. The earth isn't doomed, by the way. We can just see any geoengineering tech that we already have, no excess climate engineering tech, rather than have Elon. Yeah, Elon's on a mad one. Petrol stations will lose a lot of money, so they have to convert to electric stations. How would they make money with electric? I thought maybe, if you have services now, I was talking about this the other day with the missus. You have services, and then you have these little petrol independent stations. Wonder if they'll change those petrol stations into like hubs. So you've got big screens, you've got iPads, and then you've got like a coffee shop within the station hub. So you obviously charge your car, might take you 15 minutes supercharge, and then it's like a little hub, and then you can buy everything in that little kind of futuristic hub. That would be good. Trains are a way forward for teams to be traveled up and down. We've been on a train a couple of times. When I played, we got trains. Going to bed, rough day, peace, people. Big shout out to Salmon, by the way, helping out with the Volcano in Las Palmas. Big shout out to you. Take care. Static. Hey, Fran. Sorry. Hey, listen, Static. We're leaving. We're going to shut up shop now. 45 minutes. I hope everyone is going to have a great weekend. Remember, champions are made on a Friday, which means on your Saturdays, on your Sundays, try to make it where you develop a little bit. Work on the little side hustle. Maybe get to the gym, spend time with loved ones. Or you know what? You don't have to have the weekend. Sit down, eat loads of junk food, watching Netflix and binge, as long as you can chill and take a big smile on your face. That is for sure. Tubbs is on the graveyard shift at the hospital. Big shout out to him. Marvo saying take care. And DJ Ashby, big fist, etc. Great weekend, Buenos Aires, each and every time. Right then, people, I am going to go. Again, thank you for your time. Thank you for everyone tuning in this week. Make sure you go and subscribe to the new crypto channel. It will maybe just be watching me just do a little bit of trades. My face won't be on it, so you've not got to see me 2-3 times a day. And make sure you check out Green Mind, because we will have a video out Sunday night or Monday, which will probably help you through the week. Big shout out, and hope England win later on tonight. As always, God bless. Love you all, and I will see you later.